Welcome back to the final segment of today's program here on Taiwan Outlook. I'm your host, Wu Ruiguo, where we'll continue our conversation with Ms. Shuwa Chang, who is the project manager and also producer here at the International Department of Taiwan's Public Television Service. Shuwa, I know that you've been involved as producer or in some other capacity in a number of internationally co-produced projects. And can you then share with us, to start off the segment, that some of the international reactions from different audiences around the world that you've been able to pick up?
Yes, for system, according to the data we have, all the co-produced projects that we have and documentary that we have are always very well received on the international arena.
Okay.
When we attend international festivals, either it's selected, like for the wildlife film documentary, the Earth Vision, we won some prize, awards, and also for Tokyo International Film Festival.
Yes.
We have a new film called A Bird Without Borders.
Okay.
Boundary.
Boundary. Yes. Okay.
It's about the breakfast spoonbill.
Okay.
Bird.
Okay.
And so it was very well received.
Okay.
It's everywhere.
Yeah, but I suppose in your line of work that you will continue to identify projects that can be international co-production. And can you share with us, without giving any professional secrets away, what were some of the projects that you're working on that will be in the future that for internationally co-produced projects?
We are working on the second co-production project with ACTE.
Okay.
Another National Palace Museum film.
Okay, which is called?
Along the river during the Qingming Festival.
Okay, and this is something that will be completed this year, or you only started the preparations for it?
I hope, personally, I do hope we can, finish with filming by June or July. It's because the painting is actually currently exhibited in the museum.
Okay.
And according to the museum regulation, once it's out of the exhibition rooms for 1.5 years, you cannot touch.
Okay. And Ms. Chang, we know that you've been involved in documentary production for most part of your career, and we'll also understand that you've been involved in a number of very important internationally co-produced projects, as we discussed throughout our program today. Can you then give us a general sense of the documentary production environment in Taiwan as well as in Asia?
Documentary is a very special genre.
Okay.
It demands time. Sometimes you have to spend really time to follow your characters and the story. Okay. Sometimes over years.
Okay.
So I personally think Asia now is the golden era for documentaries. You can see a lot of professionals come over to Asia to search, to hunt for good stories.
Okay.
It's because we do have very unique story here.
Yes.
And also characters here.
Do you think that there will be a lot of opportunities in the future for more regional co-produced projects, maybe like Taiwan's PTS, with Chinese, I don't think they have a PTS in China yet, but something close to it, or maybe in Southeast Asia, you'll find a counterpart who's willing to do a project together, or maybe in Japan and Korea and places. Is that continue to be?
I think it will be a trend, actually.
Okay, all right.
For certain environmental issue.
Okay.
It's a question, it's an issue across the border, Okay. You do need some, if you want to treat the issue well, you have to collaborate with other countries.
Okay.
And we do not have any discrimination against, our neighbors.
Okay.
Actually, it's even easier to work, people with the same background, the same, it's all a question about, what kinds of subject matter or what kinds of story you are searching for now.
Okay.
And what kinds of partners, it's the production team are very important. They have to be very experienced, familiar with the way, that function in co-production projects.
Okay. And I just learned before the taping started that you recently went to Hong Kong to attend the so-called Asian side of DOC. And can you tell us a little bit about that, event, and what are some of the things that we're likely to see coming out of, future, co-production in the future?
Asian side of the DOC is the first event ever in Asia.
Okay.
The first Asian side of DOC, is in Hong Kong, and then next year we're probably in Korea, and then go to Singapore.
It's a yearly event.
Yes, but only for 3 years.
Only for 3 years.
3 years. It was organized by a French film festival called Sunny Sides of the DOC.
Okay.
And it's sponsored by European Commission.
Oh, okay.
And their goal is really to building bridges between Asian and European professionals.
All right.
And I think it's very exciting beginning in the fact that I think, in the mainstream market, you will notice, certain formula or certain ways of doing documentary that is very, well structured, expectable.
Okay.
It's like NGC film. It's very well told, but at the same time, you get kind of tired of this kind of style.
All right.
It's so dramatic. It's so heavy flavor.
Okay.
I would say.
All right.
But when European, producers approach us, partners approach us, I think for them and also for us, we are searching for a new kinds of, style.
Okay, ways
that
of
is
telling a
other
story.
than
Yes. All right.
that kinds of effective ways of, it's well structured and everything. It's no surprise.
Okay.
And it's not a good thing. I think we do need more, insights to new subjects.
Okay.
New documentary, and new partners will bring that kinds of, momentum.
Yeah, you can
new
brainstorm
energy
together.
And, yes, and we can create something, exciting.
Yeah, but let's talk about the documentary production here in Taiwan. I know that PTS is a major part of it, but other than PTS, are there any independent filmmakers who concentrate on documentaries here in Taiwan? What's the general reaction from audiences for documentaries that are locally produced here in Taiwan?
There are cinema goers, really search for documentaries, because in documentary, sometimes it's even more dramatic than fiction film. We do have a niche audiences, in Taiwan, who really like documentaries. But I think other than public television service, very few organizations or TV stations really give huge, time, and also financial support to these independent filmmakers or production house. So I think you need courage. You need your vision to continue doing, making a documentary. But I think with the revolution in the technique, in the equipment, everything is becoming, more accessible to people who really want to do documentaries.
All right.
But
as far as we know, that Shuwa, that our government, for example, has every year set some budget aside to encourage the production of good scripts and also good production of documentary included. And do you think that's enough? Or can we get more sponsorship maybe from the corporate sector as well?
Yes and no. I personally don't think that it's a main issue. I do think that we need to know how to make good documentaries. That is not that cannot be solved by money.
Okay.
And I think it's really in the academic domain and also in TV station, we need to cultivate culture that really appreciates what have been done in documentary, these kinds of genre. It's really capture what's happening now in the society, in the culture, and things like that. And the money shouldn't be the major concern, although it's important. But I think it's the culture. When you have that kind of culture, you can overcome any kinds of obstacle, because after all, in the end, is your viewpoints that is
your
important.
Interpretation.
It's what you have inside. It's what you see around you.
On the yearly calendar, how many film festivals that we have that are devoted exclusively to documentary?
You mean Taiwan?
Taiwan. Or do we have it at all?
You mean festival?
Yeah, I mean, film, documentary, film festival. For example, every year during the Golden Horse, there is a small segment on documentary. But that's not the major focus.
It's a biannual documentary festival.
Every 2 years?
Yes.
2 years. And that's sponsored by government or private organizations?
I'm not sure, informed about that, but I think yes, it's sponsored by government.
But you must also attend a lot of international.
Also film women festival. Women Make Waves is mainly documentary. A lot of documentaries.
But that's only for films or documentaries that have women as the subject matter, right? But I mean, overall, do we have something a little more broader on the yearly calendar for documentary showing?
I think yes, because even in Children's Festival, a good documentary
always come up, but nothing exclusively on documentary yet. But you must also go to a lot of foreign film festivals. What have you learned from other makers in a different country, in a different culture, about their production of documentary? Now we are really entering into the era of high definition. As long as it's about wildlife, environmental issues, it's in HD. And it's becoming, some projects are just, crazy. It's big budgets, but well done, amazing, and it's crazy story. And I think people, professionals, are getting more experience, in storytelling, and they really know how to, attract your attention. That's terrific. Shuwa, thank you for, being on the program today. We certainly, learned a lot from talking with you of some of the, pluses and some of the disappointments in terms of internationally co-produced project. And we also want to wish you all the best in your personal and professional endeavors in the future. And hopefully we'll get a chance to have you back on the program again.
Thank you.
I want to thank you for watching our program today. I'll see you next time on Macroview Television. Thank you very much.